Hello everyone, my name is Rimi Bewtra. I'm Senior Director of Mobile Product Marketing, and today we have a session titled Simplify Enterprise Mobility. I've invited here with me my guest Suhas Uliyar, Vice President of Mobile Strategy Product Management. Good morning, Suhas.
Hello, Rimi. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. I know that you've joined us recently at Oracle. Maybe before we get started, you can give us a little bit of an overview of what you've been working on for the past few years.
Absolutely, Rimi. It's been 5 months since I've joined Oracle, and does time fly very, very fast here. I've been in the tech industry for over 20 years, about 15 of that really focused around mobile enterprises and our mobile applications and mobile platform. In my mobile journey, I've had stops at companies like SAP, Motorola Solutions, as well as had my own startup. So I've been involved about over a decade in mobile industry, building mobile applications, platform, mobile device management. So the good old days of Symbian and BlackBerry to the fun, exciting days today of Android and Apple.
Wow, so you've definitely kept busy with all the latest trends with mobile and enterprise mobility.
A very dynamic market.
So, as we get started, maybe you can give us a little bit of the lay of the landscape when it comes to enterprises and what they're facing today.
Absolutely. If you look at over the last few decades, enterprises' IT architectures have evolved from client-server mainframes to more sort of open web-based technologies. And so there's been the proliferation of web-based applications in the enterprise to date. With the explosion of mobile devices, mobility has become an imperative for IT. But mobility doesn't stop just at mobile devices. It's not just smartphones, not just tablets. Today you see wearables, watches, you see Google Glasses, as well as the Internet of Things really sort of becoming part of the mobile enterprise. So the big difference, as you see in this evolution, is that the web technologies are not going away anywhere anytime soon. So what's happening within the enterprise is enterprise IT architectures are evolving to not only contain what they've had, but adding on top of what they've had, right? So you have web technologies, you have mobile-first technologies, you have IoT, and all of this being consumed via the cloud. So we see that as a major shift. So the new normal now is the cloud with an intersection of mobile, social, IoT, and your web technologies.
Wow, so we really want everything.
Absolutely.
So, I guess this probably brings up a lot of different opportunities as well.
Oh yeah, when you look at, no mobile conversation is devoid of talking about statistics, right? But some very important aspects that we've seen in talking to a CIO from our enterprises is that 90% of the CIOs have cited that they will be deploying more than 25 mobile applications in a year. We've never seen that kind of volume within a single enterprise. And we look at investments that are going on, there's almost a 4-to-1 ratio in the investment going towards mobile application development, what they call mobile first applications compared to web or other legacy type applications. So the opportunity for the enterprise to be able to have a complete complete mobile infrastructure is becoming more and more critical. So we are at a juncture which is not too dissimilar to where we were with the web technologies about 10 years ago, right? When web technologies were coming in, we had the point solutions coming in, and then there was an overall IT infrastructure for the web. And mobile is currently in the same position as we were with the web about a decade ago.
So with all these opportunities, are there challenges that CIOs are citing?
Yes. One of the major challenges now, especially with the adoption of BYOD, the bring your own device phenomena, is the challenge for IT to be able to support applications that are cross-platform. So you have your iOS devices, you have your Android devices, you have different form factors. So how do you build an application written once that runs across all those devices, that gives the same performance, the same sort of device integration capabilities as a native application does? The other aspect as well is BYOD is making a major shift in the way you manage the application. So you no longer is IT or corporate IT managing the devices. In fact, they're more responsible for managing the identity of the user and the application, the content that business is giving the end user. So one challenge is about how do I put a strategy around bring your own device. But having been in mobile for the last 15 years, one thing that hasn't changed is the cost, complexity, and the time it takes to take a mobile application and integrate that into the enterprise. So when you talk about how do I comply with existing IT security policies, how do I integrate this with data that's coming from my on-prem devices, from my cloud, or other mobile contextual. So when you look at the overall cost of deploying a mobile application, the challenge for IT really is not so much as how much does it cost me to build a mobile application or the client side. It is more how do I take the client side application that's cross-platform and integrate that into my enterprise.
That's interesting. So, you mentioned 10 years ago, well, mobile's been around actually 10 years now. What are some of the shortcomings that enterprises, what's prevented enterprises from doing more with enterprise mobility?
It's very interesting, right? So I talk about enterprises in a way being in the ready, fire, aim mode. And it's not being critical about the way we've gone about building mobile applications. Today a lot of the enterprises have deployed mobility as a very tactical solution to solve a very specific singular business problem, whether it's for their sales users or their sales employees or for their field service folks or their direct store delivery folks. And now more and more marketing is sort of getting engaged to build mobile applications, providing them a mobile presence through the app stores. But what we've seen is a very tactical deployment that is very siloed, that is separate from the the overall IT infrastructure. So what that's happened is it's sort of really increased the cost of deployment, especially as these point solutions have to be integrated point to the sources of data, to their security aspects. So I think where we are in a situation right now is where enterprises are looking to say, how do I take these tactical deployments and create a strategic sort of infrastructure to support not only my web-based applications, but also my mobile-first applications.
Oh, that's great. Well, hopefully Oracle is doing something to address some of these shortcomings and challenges that enterprises face?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the best point. Look at why Oracle's really good here, a good fit for our enterprise customers. And you look at where Oracle has been, when you take the middleware infrastructure, we are the #1 market leader when it comes to middleware solutions for web-based technologies. And again, like I mentioned, we've solved all the hard, heavy lifting components of the back end. And our customers can leverage that to now deploy mobile applications. So what we're doing to help our customers is our mobile strategy is really sort of threefold. We are enabling our customers with Oracle mobile apps built to Oracle backend apps such as PeopleSoft, Siebel, JD Edwards, EBS, and enabling them to have a very fast time to market to enable their businesses to go mobile connected to the backend applications. But for those customers who want to build their own app or to build custom apps, we have the mobile platform that enables them to build the cross-platform applications connected to any backend. It could be Oracle backends, it could be non-Oracle backends, it could be on-premise, it could be cloud. And the third aspect of it is mobile security. Security is the #1 reason why a lot of enterprises are cautious about mobile. And what we are doing as a strategy is bringing all of these together, integrated but decoupled.
That's excellent. And you mentioned so on-premise and cloud offerings. So
Correct.
In terms of Oracle's mobile strategy, it's two different pieces.
Correct. What we see, and this is a natural evolution for enterprises as well. Today we see a lot of on-premise deployments of their on-premise applications being mobilized, but we also see over time many of these backend applications not only going towards the cloud, but the mobile infrastructure going towards the cloud as well. So we're taking this dual approach, enabling our enterprise customers to have an on-prem deployment as well as a cloud deployment.
That's great. So maybe, with the rest of the time, we can talk through each of the components for Oracle's mobile strategy, starting with Oracle mobile apps.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've taken a very unique approach with our app strategy itself. So I sort of categorized our apps into 3 buckets. A lot of our customers want to mobile enable their web pages, whether that's their extranet or their intranet, or even the content that drives their web pages. So the industry calls it the mobile web. So through our Oracle Mobile Web Center, a lot of our customers who have deployed Web Center with a click of a button can have a responsive design of their web pages optimized for mobile on the iPads, on the larger form factors, as well as their smartphones. So that's the Oracle Mobile Web Center for your marketing guys to be able to expose your web page onto the mobile devices. The other key aspect about mobile is for executives, which is all about BI, the Oracle Mobile BI. So we have the mobile BI that allows you to take all your existing reports or your metrics, your analytics, and be able to display them, again, optimized for the mobile device. Again, big form factors like your tablets as well as smartphones. And of course, Oracle has a very, very good, strong background on applications, whether it's ERP, CRM, with Siebel, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, EBS. And there are just way too many for us to cover in this conversation. But needless to say, we have a very, very strong portfolio of mobile apps that are available today out of the box to these backends. There are many more coming, built not only by our own internal teams, but also by our partners who are taking our platform and using that platform to expose applications or build mobile-first applications to one or more backends.
So that's a great overview of Oracle's mobile apps. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how Oracle is simplifying enterprise mobility for the developer.
Oh, absolutely, Rimi. One of the most important aspects, and again, one of the differentiations that we have with our Oracle mobile platform is that we are multi-channel. And really what enterprises are looking at is a common set of platform and tools that can support not only their web-based applications, but also their mobile applications. And when you talk about mobility specifically, there are two components to it. There's the front end on how you build cross-platform applications to your iOS and Android devices, and then how do you take that application and integrate that into our infrastructure. So that's sort of what we call our Oracle Mobile Suite. That has the mobile application framework, which is a tool that allows you to very easily and very simply drag and drop components, build a cross-platform application, same source code, same code shared between multiple OSs without having to write any specific mobile components. In addition, we provide all the integration to the device capabilities such as camera, GPS, and whatever other functions are within the device, all securely encrypted so you can work in an offline mode. And on the back end, we leverage all our components from the Oracle Service Bus, integration to all the adapter integration to all the backends that we have, and we expose them so they can be consumed very easily by the mobile devices. Today, the mobile developer expect these interfaces to be exposed as REST JSON services, and so what our mobile suite does is integrates with this data coming from either the cloud or the on-prem backends, and very simply with these tools exposes this as REST APIs that can be consumed on our mobile application framework. So that's sort of the Oracle mobile platform. Now from a runtime perspective, of course these are all secured with the Oracle Mobile Security Suite, but from a runtime perspective, one of the major challenges that IT or the enterprises are facing today is how do you scale to mobile applications or mobile deployments? It is, when you look at the ratio of mobile devices that are connecting to the enterprise to the web applications, we're looking at a ratio about 4 to 5 to 1 there. And so as you deal with this unpredictable amount, because many customers don't even know how many B2C applications are on the App Store, how many consumers have downloaded that app. So how do you deal with an unpredictable amount of volume? So this is where the enterprise-grade nature of Oracle's runtime comes in, so the WebLogic server. So we're able to scale to the volume of connections. We provide the performance through in-memory caching. We provide the reliability, the scalability, the failover, all the enterprise-grade nature of what Oracle brings to the enterprise. So that, in overall, is our mobile suite that enables application developers to build mobile applications. So
cloud is an important trend, and you mentioned it a couple of times. How does cloud intersect with enterprise mobility?
Great. One of the things that's happening, or we see the trends within the industry for mobile specifically, is we have a lot of mobile developers who know how to build really cool mobile applications, but really focused on the client side, right? So what that means is, how do I define my UI? How do I define the screen transitions? How do I make it really snazzy and look really well, right? Mm-hmm. But where they struggle with is, how do I take this mobile app and easily integrate this into the enterprise? Today, it's done on-prem, but more and more what we're seeing with the adoption of the cloud is to be able to provide these backend services in the cloud itself. So the way we talked about it at Oracle Open World as we announced a lot of our cloud features, the mobile cloud service. So the idea behind the mobile cloud service is to provide a set of very simple services that a mobile developer can easily consume in the tool. And we would sort of hide and abstract all the complexities of how do I do a single sign-on, how do I do adaptive access management, how do I encrypt the data? How do I secure the data? How do I integrate to on-prem? How do I integrate to cloud? How do I do metrics? How do I manage the environment? How do I do persistence? How do I do sync? So there's a whole bunch of services that the mobile developer doesn't have to worry about. It's something very simple. They just go and discover the services that they have access to. If they don't have the access, they can just define what they need. It's provided to them. They just bind it to their mobile application. They can put it in an enterprise app store, a specific app store for the enterprise, or they can launch it in the Apple App Store or Google Play. So our view is that more and more of these enterprises are going to go into the simplistic model that a cloud will provide, and that's sort of what we are aiming towards with the mobile cloud service.
That's great. So it'll really be that complete offering that enterprises need.
Right.
So security is one of the #1 concerns for CIOs, and you mentioned it as part of being integrated within the mobile platform. What is Oracle's mobile strategy when it comes to security?
Well, absolutely, Rimi. Security is considered still the #1 imperative for IT and the CIO when we talk about mobile. And to date, we have been providing mobile access or mobile integration to identity management. Again, we are the leader in identity management solutions. So we have an integrated stack that provides single sign-on to the mobile device, is able to provide adaptive access management, where if you are not in a different location, you can be challenged using one-time password. We can also do remote device wipes. But the whole nature of mobile devices in the enterprise is changing. Like I mentioned with bring your own device, there's a very fine balance between managing the device and managing the content on the device. I'm certain that you don't want your kids' photos or your videos to be destroyed, right, if you were to leave the company, right? And that's what device management does. You have full control over the device. But with Bring Your Own Device, IT is looking to manage the business application, the business content, ensuring there's no data leakage. So you're not taking the forecast that sales sent you and put it into a public cloud where you don't know where it's going to end up. At the same time, you don't want to be able to copy paste some business data into your own personal folders. Being able to really segregate business data from personal data. So that is sort of the world of mobile application management. And so where we are headed with the mobile security is to extend our identity management that we've done for mobile and social and add mobile application management components to it. And that includes things like the enterprise app store, being able to define device policies, enable business to personal data separation, application separation, single sign-on. And to that extent, we acquired a company called Bitsa recently that helps us sort of accelerate that deployment into the field. So mobile security certainly is a very, very key component. And again, like I said, these are all integrated. But again, the flexibility that we provide is also very critical to the enterprise, because as an enterprise, you can either start by deploying a mobile app from Oracle. You can build your own application, and you can secure them with the mobile security suite. If you don't want to use one of those components, that's fine too, right? So it's integrated but decoupled.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Suhas. And to our audience, I'd like to leave you with, if you want more information on Oracle's mobile solutions and offerings, please go to www.oracle.com/mobile. Thank you.